Hello everyone, and welcome once again to the guys here at Lancastrian. So it's myself, Howard and Matt again, here to hopefully give you some information and a bit of news about the housing market, and I think hopefully some good news we think. Bit of a bad week, hope everyone's alright after the weather and the flooding. But let's get into it, guys. So let's see how things are. So Matt, how's things been in Lancaster this week?
Yeah, they've picked up quite a bit, to be fair. Quite a few more valuations, quite a lot of viewings still coming in. I know the offers are flying in as well. There's not as much valuations as what we want, and it appears to be that some people will still be hesitant in coming to the market. However, there's an upbeat kind of attitude about people coming and viewing. You know, they're all pretty serious on buying properties, and what we're finding is people are offering. But overall, it's been a good week, bar the weather. That didn't put anybody off this time. Usually you find when the weather's horrendous, not a lot of people want to come out. However, I was out doing my job, getting soaked on, was it Wednesday? Obviously with the social distance and everything, remaining outside for a bit. We were in this huge garden. I got absolutely drenched, but it needs to be done, guys. There's a lot more people in a worse off situation than me. But yeah, overall, really good. All general consensus. Morecambe's doing really well, surrounding areas, Lancaster villages, all really popular.
Yeah, good stuff. Good to hear. Yeah, that's one of the things at the moment, isn't it? With all the social distancing stuff, is if it absolute chucks it down and you're stuck stood outside in the rain, you're going to get a bit wet. But it's a needs must, and hopefully it's only for short term, not too much longer.
Exactly.
To do that. Needs must. How about you, Howard? How's Preston?
Yeah, it's been okay, to be perfectly honest with you. It's weather-wise, it's been flooded. I sent a couple of you some videos. It's like they needed to do a couple of appointments in a dinghy, which was quite eventful. But we got there and got the offer across the line. Now, on a serious note, it's incoming calls for people wanting to go view properties and applicants want to register for properties has gone up. We said it last week, or we said it the week before as well. Valuations aren't as busy as what you guys have got up in Lancaster, but understandably, how I am here, it's a little bit different to what you guys are up there. But to reiterate what Matthew says, as soon as they come on the market, there's people clamping all over to go and view their properties, and they undoubtedly are selling, And I think the properties I've got have come on the market. I've got another one going live today. We're getting offers within the first 5 days, definitely within the first 14 days, they're tied up. So that just shows you that demand's still pent up out there. I don't think how many people to one property are out there. Maybe that's a ratio that we should maybe look at. Is how many ratios are out there. But what I would say is viewings. Whereas go back, it used to be on a good month. You might have a property might take 8 viewings to get an offer out of it. On an average, it's normally 12, 13. That's what it normally is. I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm probably averaging about three viewings to not just an offer, but to a sale. So that ratio is, and I always used to work out figures like that, to be perfectly honest with you, to work out what amount of viewers do we need to get across that, correct viewers, not just anybody willy-nilly, to get the offer out there.
Yeah.
And it's always imperative should say. However, it's very, very notably now that figure's just diminished.
Well, I think there's a.
It has, hasn't it? It's amazing, really.
Massively. Which is great for everyone's time. The amount of miles that people would have travelled, looking round 10 houses to go and view them, to go and buy them, to go and offer was just unbelievable. Whereas now, obviously, we've got really good virtual viewings, so you can see things online clearly. And make a decision as to whether you think it's going to be any good. You can tick things or cross things off your list, before you even have to waste your time going out and going and seeing them. But also, there's just not as much out there. So there's not those 10 houses for you to go and look at, really. No. There's probably only 1 or 2, and if you don't offer on it and if you don't buy it, chances are somebody's going to offer, definitely offer on it there and then as well. So it is difficult, isn't it? But you're right. Viewing levels are much lower. Ratios to sale to views are much higher.
Yeah, I was just going to say then, and ironically, I've just had a message of someone that's watching this, commenting on my nice blue top. So, Mike, yeah, thanks very much for that. No, actually, on that, the gentleman who was talking about, these virtual viewings are fantastic, and they are very much a must, and they're, a requirement that we find work really well to get people across the door, to get offers off people before they even cross the door. Now, I was talking to a gentleman yesterday, in fact the day before, and he's wanting to participate in viewing these properties on with other estate agents to go look at these virtual tours. If it was there in a click, he wouldn't mind filling in his name and his email address and telephone number, because then obviously you're not giving details away to people for nothing. He doesn't mind doing that, but he's finding it very, very hard to get a physical viewing, and now to get a virtual viewing on it as well. So these virtual tours are fantastic. All I'm trying to say is, if you're on the market out there and your estate agent is putting, barricades in your way of getting viewers, it's not part of the viewing is being detrimental to you, honestly. There's people out there, if your house is on the market now and you're not getting physical viewings or virtual viewings, there's something wrong. It might not always be the price, it could be other things. So just have a look at what your marketing is. That's all I say on the matter, but it's just frustrating, for certain people out there.
Yeah.
We, as you well know, we have two formats. We have the 360, we have the walkthrough. The 360, yes, if you go online, we do ask you to put in your email address, we do ask you to put your name and a contact number. We do that so we can contact you, but also so we can jump on with you there and then if need be, and talk to you and show you around the property. And if you've got any questions, you can ask me, Kevin, you can ask Matthew or one of the girls in the office. So it's there as a tool to help you sell your houses. So yeah, so if it's used correctly, Kevin, it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, no, I
agree.
I agree. And one of the other virtual things which is really it was really big last year when we were in proper lockdown, but seemed to go away because as agents the housing market has remained open, and we were able to go and see people in their houses, and I think it was just sort of thing we most agents had gone back in, most clients had gone back into the same sort of traditional mould. But Mike, you've noticed a big shift this week again, haven't you, back to virtual valuations? People
and to be honest, I mean, how easy are they? I mean, you can be sat like we are now. I did one with somebody yesterday, and I remember doing one the other day. Now, I'll give you two examples, and this is probably me down to a T full stop. I like caffeine. I like a nice coffee in the morning. I like to wake up with a coffee. Probably like most of us do. If I don't have that caffeine, I get a bit grumpy. So don't call first thing in the morning and ask for Matthew, please. However, going off track, basically I went to a house in Heysham, and I remember the lady, we had masks on and distanced, and bless her, I felt really sorry for her because she'd literally just made a coffee as I rocked up and forgot that she can't drink it, because of course you can't go like that, and you're breaking the rules. Whereas I did a virtual valuation yesterday for one lady, and she was loving it. She was sat on the couch, the dog was on her knee, and she was sat gabbing to me on WhatsApp, and she was having a nice fresh brew and even a bite of toast, So fair enough, you can do that, and the virtual valuations are so easy, and for me, they can almost be less pressure on you as a vendor, because I'm doing the video tour with you, and I think that's the modern way of working now. We've all kind of got used to it. But also the fact is that with a virtual valuation, I can see everything there on your camera. It's like as if I'm there, but also there's some more flexibility there if you think about it. So let's face it, if I drive out to you and I come and do a valuation, we as estate agents probably book at least 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending on the size of your house. If I do a virtual valuation, it's literally bang, you're straight on the phone. You're probably talking 40 minutes at top, even for a large house. And even if you just want a quick valuation, it's just a case of, I could ring you at 7 at night, I could ring you at 7 in the morning. The joy is you've always been at home anyway, but this way, it saves you the risk of me even coming out to see you.
Yeah, I think
and I suppose when they've had enough of you, Matt, it's just one. Yeah, there you go.
That's very true. But you're right.
Joking aside,
yeah. Talking from experience there, Howard, have you done that to you before?
Yeah, I don't even get to the green button. No, but you're all right. It's every point you made is very poignant. The fact is that life can still go on. I think a lot of people in all different works and so far are getting more used to these Zoom, these team meetings, these WhatsApp, just say videos. And I think it's great. And I actually think going forward as well, it'll be used even after this lockdown, because one of the things that we discuss in mornings and meetings and stuff is the use of people's time and how valuable that time is to people. If this system that we can use doesn't make our service any less, but it saves them time, and and they can spend more of their important time doing what they want to do. I think they'd appreciate it that way as well. And you're right, Matt. You can get to know someone talking to someone like this. Exactly the same as in your house. There's probably more things you can have a bit of a laugh and joke about, because they've got the comfort of their own home. And and joking aside, if they wanted to say, look, I've got to go now, they can just make an excuse and go. So from their point, they're actually in control of the whole communication, Matt.
Exactly. You've got to think a lot of people are working from home at the moment, like ourselves.
Yeah.
And, a lot of, I know for example, from my fiance's perspective, they still get like a lunch time and things like that. There's less pressure on you, like you say, you can save more time by doing it. If you literally just need to hop out of a Zoom meeting, you need 20 minutes for your estate agent just to give you a guided tour around. You can do that, and then we can call you once you finish work and then go through the formalities again and go through what we think value-wise. It's just flexible, and I always use this saying when I go out and value your house, you shouldn't have to work around us, we work around you. And I think that's a massive thing at the moment. Everyone's just as busy, and I think as modern day estate agents, you've got to work around your client. Those estate agents work 9 to 5, they're the ones that unfortunately in future, without guessing what's going to happen, they're the ones that aren't going to generate as much business as those who are working to be flexible. And I think you've got to be flexible because, as we've seen during this whole pandemic, people's working hours have changed and people's workloads have changed. And, for example, now I can bet you might have to do an hour of homeschooling. Imagine if I came to your house during that hour of homeschooling because it's the only time that we get off. You're not going to get anything done.
Yeah, I think they offer a lot of good things, and I think safety is a big thing at the moment, obviously. And I think people are worried about everything that's going on, and having people come around the house, but still want to know what the value is, and potentially look at trying to move. So all the virtual stuff is absolutely amazing and is great, and it can allow that to still happen, whilst keeping that that contact down to an absolute minimum. Because the other thing we really need to do is the marketing stuff. So we need to come and take photos and all that sort of thing. But other than that, you could sell your house without anyone stepping through your door. That's
very much so.
That's how good all this stuff is, and we want to embrace it and want to use it as much as possible. And hopefully doing all this stuff will instill a bit of confidence, and hopefully we'll see the market sort of push and people can get moving then with it. Now, one other stumbling block that potentially is there, it's a bit of an elephant in the room in the estate agency world, is stamp duty. And what's going to happen with that at the end of March potentially. I just wondered what your guys' thoughts were on stamp duty and what you think will happen at the end of March.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I have said this before, and I said it kind of previously in one of the first kind of meetings that we went into when we first started doing this. And when Rishi Sunak obviously got rid of stamp duty right at the start of the end of the first lockdown, if I'm honest, yes, it saves us all individuals a fortune. I'm all for saving money, I assure you. I am a money saver. I'm a bargain hunter. I love it. However, I think for me, I don't think he even needed to do it. I think everyone was kind of just going to buy houses anyway. I think everybody came out of that lockdown going, I want a new house. I can't be doing this. I need a bigger garden. I want to study. If I'm going to work from home, I'm going to convert my loft space, which I can't do here, so I'm going to do it somewhere else. Or I'm going to build a garden shed and put my office out there. I think for me, it's been a great help. And I think, some people move to bigger houses, don't get me wrong, and save some money. However, I think the main benefit of it was 100% down south because, I think it was great up here, but let's face it, stamp duty on anything under 500 isn't that. Obviously, it's still another cost to pay, but usually buyers would have incorporated that into their offer anyway. However, I think coming to March, I think the market will just remain as it is, very busy, because look at the listings and sales we're getting on now. I've expressed to people when I go and value, I don't think you'll make the stamp duty holiday cut-off point. I think it's going to be really tight. And people are fine with that. People are really fine with that. And just go, yeah, that's fine. I need to move anyway. It's one of them. I delayed it.
Yeah.
I think you're right as well. I think people will always have to move. And people I've spoken to now, they're saying, we need to if they're offering, we want to get in for the end of stamp duty. You're right, Matt. The best thing to do is just to be upfront and say, very unlikely, unless even if it's an empty property just on its own, I still think you struggle to get in all honesty. There might, I don't know, there might have been a bit of a lull in that houses coming to the market for the beginning of January. That might have had an impact. People think, well, I missed out anyway. But I think, like you say, as time progresses, I think people will realise and think, well, it was only a little bit of an offer anyway. And everyone's always got to move out for one reason or the other, or houses have always got to sell for one reason or another. And I think, it will get back to normal. And I think when there's a little bit more confidence in not just the market, I think confidence in the world as it is, in the situation we are, and I think, things will just get back to normal again. Because it's only the slowdown of houses coming to the market, hasn't it? We touched on it last week, the stamp duty. Has it made a difference? Not really. It made a difference, and probably the money they've added on, they thought, I'll offer a little bit more for the house because I'm saving on it. But in the scheme of things, in the areas we cover, what you're talking, no more than $5,000, less than that, really. So, in the majority of times, like you said, to reiterate what you said, Matt, these big houses down south and certain parts, maybe towards Cheshire and so forth, they're going to see a massive difference because you're into, a lot of zeros at the end of it. I'll tell you, well, just while I'm actually talking now, one thing I was looking at before, I don't know if you saw this, it was about this housing secretary, his name escapes me at the minute, Robert Jenrick, I think he's called. He's got this, did you see this? It's the right to regenerate or basically turn any derelict buildings into homes and any community assets, again, to turn them around. So any derelict buildings are looking at making them like a community asset. So what it actually means is if there's a vacant plot of land or a derelict building, okay, they'll possibly enable them to turn them into new homes or community spaces that will be used and benefit for the local community and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And that's what this guy's kind of pushing forward. And it's hopefully to release land as well for potential redevelopment, again, helping communities. And what they're trying to say is they're trying to get this across the line because it will be a better use of public land. So I think, for that to be pushed through to be aimed at there, I think that's showing that there's confidence there and that houses will be built. Because everywhere you look now, there's plots of land getting applied for, there's houses getting built. So, I think we're just at kind of someone has said yesterday, I think it's affected a lot of stuff, but not the housing market.
Yeah.
Probably right, I think that, isn't it?
I agree. There's lots of horrible stuff being going on, but one industry where it has actually been quite a good year for is the housing market, and that's just being honest. Having worked in it, it's been unbelievable sales-wise, hasn't it? Okay, so should we have a look at the numbers now and just see if we feel like it's a bit more confidence going round, but a few more valuation and stuff. Has that transpired into actual the numbers?
Let me just check, what date are we on today? Is it the 22nd today? 22nd?
22nd, yeah.
22nd.
So all the figures.
So we're 9 days.
All the figures are up to yesterday, so they don't include today, obviously. So three weeks in. Into the month. So let's start with PR this week, Howard, and those areas.
I'm going to leave the guessing out. I'm just going to listen to what you got to say.
Okay, so always compare to the same month last year.
Yeah.
All right, so last year, 2020, January was 243 new properties came on the market in PR1, PR4 and PR5. Okay, last week that number stood at 67, so the first 2 weeks there was 67. Okay, that's now up to 119.
Well, so that's quite a bit of a jump in that, isn't it?
So it was quite a good jump. Yeah, it was
nearly double, really. Not so far.
Nearly doubled, yeah. So it was good week actually. So it's up to 50% of January. It's going to be way down on it, but there was a big jump this week. So
it's shown an increase, isn't it? So,
well, like we've been saying, a good bit of confidence there. Sales. So sales, 2020 there was 182 in January last year. 76 were out last week. So in the first 2 weeks, we're now at 121.
Over 100. 121.
Yeah, so 66%.
I was going to guess 116 actually. So 121.
So that's 45 more. So there's not really changed. It's gone up in a sort of strange sort of way there, but still more sales than new instructions.
I do you know, when you think about it, if it continues like that, there will be a lack of stock available. There's going to be a massive lack of stock available if it continues like that. And that kind of percentage-wise.
Yeah. There will be. So there's more sales at the moment than properties coming on in the Preston area. There is definitely. So,
that, to be honest.
Matt, should we see if that's the same in Lancaster and Morecambe?
Yes.
So, new properties that came to the market 2020 in January, 257. Okay, that was at 81 last week. That's now at
130.
129. That
Wow.
was pretty good guess, that, mate. So again, 50%, same as what Preston area is. 50% of last same month last year, and that's 48 up on the week before. So no significant rise there. Certainly not as much of a jump as what happened in Preston. Sales 159 January 2020. 74 sales in the first 2 weeks. That's now 140. So sales in Lancaster have almost doubled. Unbelievable. So that's at 88%.
Get your house in the market. Get the house in the market quick.
Yeah. You know, so that's 140 sales so far this month and 129 new properties. So same thing. Stock's going down because things are there to buy. You know, so it is still a fantastic market. If you've got a property to sell, you are thinking of selling, it is a great time. And look, we can do everything virtually, virtual valuations, virtual viewings. We can do all of those things, bits and pieces. You know, there's never been a better time, I don't think, certainly in the last 10 years, probably to try and sell your house.
Yeah, exactly.
I wouldn't have thought so. But the big thing is that this last week there's definitely been more confidence and more properties coming to the market, and we've noticed that, haven't we, with valuations, and we've got stuff booked in the future that will continue that, certainly for ourselves, and hopefully that's the same for other agents in the market.
Yeah, absolutely, mate.
Yeah, but lots and lots of sales. Not as many instructions, but it is getting to go. So there's obviously a bit more confidence there. So yeah, good. Some good news. Good news. Right, brilliant, guys. Well, say we've kept you here for almost 25 minutes now. So some good bit of information there. Hopefully a bit of some stuff that's a bit more confidence boosting for people. So you know, the stuff we can do virtually, how we can help. If anyone has any questions or wants to see any of the stuff that we do virtually, you know, give us a shout. We can demonstrate that to you. There's no pressure to go on the market or anything like that. You know, we're just here to try and help. So you know, give us a bell, drop us a comment, drop us an email, send us a message, give us a ring.
Are we still going to go down that line, Kevin? Rather than announce it, I'll ask, are we still going to go down that line where possibly in a couple of weeks we might have like a guest on here to talk us about mortgages and to tell us about any rates or deals or what to do like that?
So we've been speaking to somebody this week, not finalised, which is why I haven't mentioned it yet. Hasn't finalised it, but we're trying to get a local independent financial advisor involved to come in one Friday in the next week or two, hopefully, just to give us an update from an advisor's side. You know how how mortgages are doing, what the rates are like, all these sort of things. So we'll announce that nearer the time. Once we know we've definitely got it in writing from them. They're going to be able to do it for us. So hopefully that'll be of use to a lot of people. And if you want to join in and give comments, we'll get the questions asked live to them to try and get them answered there and then for you. But other than that,
I think that's quite. Sorry, Kev. I think that's quite a good one there. I'm quite keen, as we probably all are, to get people to comment, to ask us questions while we're here, because that's what we're here to help you. So 20-25 minutes normally. It's your opportunity. You got any burning questions? Anything you want to ask us? Ask you about any two of us? Just ask us, and
well,
three of us will do our best to try and answer.
Yeah, you can comment after as well. So this is live, we're on now. But if you've got a comment or a question that you want to ask, and it's 11 o'clock tonight, if you comment on it, we're probably not going to come back to you straight away, being honest. But we will answer the question for you. So
well, if you want to ring Kevin at 7 o'clock tonight, 11 o'clock tonight, it's 07. Can you imagine that?
But no, that's good. Thank you for everyone who's watched. Say, please, we do invite your questions. We do want to know if there's anything that we can do to help. But for now, have a lovely weekend, and we will see you again next Friday.
Take care, folks.
See you then. All of us. Adios.